Well, welcome to Bourbon Riders and our first pour series where we're going to crack open, we're going to unbox the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select. Now, one of the reasons that I purchased this fine Tennessee whiskey, although some people might argue it's a bourbon, but others would say it's a Tennessee whiskey. I'll leave that argument to others, is because I had bought this little treasure, a 375 milliliter bottle of their single barrel proof. And it's been sitting on my shelf there for a while, and the reason I haven't done a first pour is I thought I need to first taste the regular single barrel select. Don't start off with the barrel proof, start off with the 47% or was it 94 proof version, and then work my way up to this little guy. So we're going to put this little guy back on the shelf where he belongs for now. And we're going to unbox this. And this was a store pick in Total Wine. And it was actually cheaper, the boxed version, than the other version. It was like $5 cheaper. I never quite figured out. The boxed version wasn't moving where the unboxed one was, when virtually it's the same thing, just in a fancy box. Now, this is the personal collection of the master distiller, I can't read his name, 47% ABV, 94 proof, and it's got a nice little moniker, necklace, whatever you want to call it, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to try this tonight. It was a little out of sequence. I'd actually planned another one for tonight, but we're going to make it up. So if you're waiting on a certain first pour, this will probably just be a special edition that we'll add in one night. So, like I said, it's specially selected for Total Wine. I don't know how much this little thing costs, but I'm going to make one and put it around my neck, baby. Yeah. So let's see what it's going to take to get all this plastic off, and we'll come back and pop the cork. Okay, now that we got all the plastic and box out of the way, we're going to pop the cork on this puppy. I have to admit, it's been a while since I've had Jack Daniel. I mean, 10 years, longer. I just not been drinking Jack Daniel since I was much younger. As most people, I mean, who hasn't had a Jack and Coke with, Jack Daniel's number 7? They're a legend. So when they started coming out with these single barrel select, and it kind of like, I need to try this again. So we're going to pop the cork and see what kind of sound we get. Oh, that was very nice. And they filled that bottle up too. And what a nice looking bottle that is. I mean, very elegant, very old-fashioned looking, and very heavy. Let's get some chugging going on, shall we? That was some excellent chugging. I held that just right for that chugging. It basically says on the back, it says, Single Barrel Select Tennessee Whiskey is the signature offering of our single barrel collection with subtle notes of caramel spice, bright fruit notes, and sweet aromatics. Well, that's pretty much, if you go to the website, jackdaniels.com, and you go and you look for the Single Barrel Select, it's virtually the same thing. It's not a whole lot of information. I guess basically say, if you like Jack Daniels, you'll like this even better. They could just put that, right? So we're going to put that off to the side, and we're going to see what this hoopla of the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel is all about. Nice color. Decent amount of film. And as you know, I don't really pay much attention to the legs. Now, I do remember that. Jack Daniels has got a very unique smell. I get some proof. I definitely get some kind of maple syrup, vanilla, a lot of oak. Well, time's a wasting. Let's see what the palate says. Cheers. Get a little baking spice right up front. Kind of light. I get a kind of a creamy sweetness. Molasses, maple, brown sugar kind of. Not as sweet as some of the bourbons that I enjoy, but a nice sweetness. Almost like a light maple syrup you'd put on pancakes. It doesn't have quite that boldness, quite that sweetness, but it's still good, still enjoyable. And there's a fruit to it, a dark fruit that's very pleasant. It's a bourbon and it's not. Technically, it's a Tennessee whiskey. Taste-wise, I'd say it's closer to a bourbon than any Tennessee whiskey or the Jack Daniels No. 7 as I remember it. And mainly I say that because it's got a very smooth flavor to it. The viscosity is creamy, not thin at all. I mean, very sippable. I was expecting something harsh. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's in a fancy bottle. It can still be harsh. It doesn't matter that it's a single barrel. It can still be harsh. This is not harsh, not at all. This is probably the best Tennessee whiskey I've ever had, and I have drank Tennessee whiskey recently. I would be very interested to know now what the little guy on the shelf tastes like. If the flavors being a barrel strength or barrel, is it barrel proof or barrel proof? Whether the barrel proof enhances the flavors like a lot of barrel proof or cask strengths do. This is good. I didn't like Jack Daniels that much in Coke. And that had a sweetness to it. You don't need anything with this, but if you like it chilled, a block of ice, that'd be it. So, wow. Well, let's, I might have to re-pour myself some more. Let's take another sip and I'll come back with some final thoughts. Final thoughts. I will tell you that I don't often refill my glass in between shots because I want to taste some more of this. You know, sometimes I will put some more in a glass and go downstairs and enjoy the rest of my evening. Stay with the same bourbon I kind of started with, or in this case, the same non-bourbon. If you like Jack Daniels, I mean, you should love this. If you don't like Jack Daniels, you should love this. So, we have a 5-tier rating system, and if you haven't seen that before or been to or are new to our channel, it's pretty simple. We give you recommendations based on what we think of the bourbon or whiskey. So, what do we think of the Jack Daniels Single Barrel Select? It is a solid 2. We think you should buy it on your next purchase. So, the next time you go to the store and you see this, and assuming it's $49.99 like I see it everywhere else, we think this is a good buy for your collection if you're a bourbon drinker or a non-bourbon drinker. I think that you'll like this. I think it's got a lot of the characteristics of good bourbons with still maintaining that Jack Daniel's taste profile, only better. So level 2 all day long, and I will tell you that this will never go empty. There'll be a backup bottle when this gets low. So please like this video and please subscribe if you'd like to see more first pour videos and other videos that we're doing on the channel. Remember, we're not just about bourbon reviews. We're about going out and finding bourbon and the whole bourbon experience. And some of the crazy things we do, whether or not we get lots of viewers or not, we're going to do that crazy shit. So please always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you next time. I don't know how much this whole thing costs, but I'm going to make one and put it around my neck, baby. Yeah.